Listen to the cassette and say aloud the new words. Across, Aspen, to break the record, Brighton, camera, column, conjunction, copy, crossword, down, to envy, etc. To find one's way, to follow, idle, immigrant, in addition to, in italic, major, middle class, population, preposition, readership, recipe, to regain, to rent, scenery, to share, similar, ski, to ski, stock market, the 400-meter record, vacation.
Exercise 1. Match each word with the right synonym. Accomplishment, achievement, timid, shy, afterwards, then, error, mistake, topic, subject, candid, sincere, squalid, dirty, rapid, fast, insult, offence, infirm, weak.
Exercise 2. Listen to the cassette and say aloud the missing noun at the end of each sentence, then writing the missing nouns. A person who is 100 years old or older is called a person who is 100 years old or older is called a centenarian. A friendly conversation is called a friendly conversation is called a chat. An agreement made between two countries, for example, after a war, is called an agreement made between two countries, for example, after a war, is called a treaty. A holiday destination popular with people is called a holiday destination popular with people is called a resort. A very stingy person is called a very stingy person is called a miser. A very famous person, for example, an actor, is called a very famous person, for example, an actor, is called a celebrity. A person one knows but who is not a close friend is called a person one knows but who is not a close friend is called an acquaintance. A letter sent to somebody that makes this person remember about something is called a letter sent to somebody that makes this person remember about something is called a reminder. A person whose business is politics is a person whose business is politics is a politician. A number like 3 or 5 is called a number like 3 or 5 is called an odd number.
Exercise 3. Decide if the adjectives below have a positive or negative meaning. Absent-minded, negative. Splitting, negative. Valiant, positive. Honest, positive. Rude, negative. Squalid, negative. Deceptive, negative. Cheerful, positive. Drunken, negative. Stingy, negative.
Exercise 4. Choose the correct adjective from exercise 3 to complete each sentence. The accident was caused by a drunken driver. How can you accuse Simon of stealing? He's such an honest man. I wouldn't trust her. Her smile can be deceptive. Looking at her cheerful face made me feel better. He was so absent-minded that he forgot to put on his socks. Take this pill and your splitting headache will be gone within an hour. How can he live in such a squalid apartment? It looks as if it hadn't been cleaned for ages. Her valiant attempts to break the 400-metre record were admirable. It was rude of you to leave without saying goodbye. Don't be so stingy and give some money to charity.
Exercise 5. Match each adjective with the correct noun given below. Vain attempts. Sunken cheeks. Rotten apples. Silk blouse. Woolen jersey. Rude remark. Retentive memory. Even number. Premature decision. Plausible explanation.
Exercise 6. Listen to the cassette and complete each sentence orally, then write in the missing words. When something is fit to be eaten, you can say that it is... When something is fit to be eaten, you can say that it is edible. When somebody does some jobs from time to time, you can say that this person does... When somebody does some jobs from time to time, you can say that this person does odd jobs. When somebody's handwriting can be read easily, you can say it is... When somebody's handwriting can be read easily, you can say it is legible. When somebody wastes time doing nothing, you can say that this person is... When somebody wastes time doing nothing, you can say that this person is idle. When something is too quiet to be heard, you can say it is... When something is too quiet to be heard, you can say it is inaudible. When somebody says that he is sorry for doing something, you can say he... for it. When somebody says that he is sorry for doing something, you can say he apologizes for it. When somebody has to start doing something again from the beginning, you can say that this person has to start from... When somebody has to start doing something again from the beginning, you can say that this person has to start from scratch. When something stays on the surface of a liquid and does not sink, you can say it... When something stays on the surface of a liquid and does not sink, you can say it floats. When a man asks a woman to marry him, you can say that he... to her. When a man asks a woman to marry him, you can say that he proposes to her. When somebody is not satisfied with something, you can say he is at something. When somebody is not satisfied with something, you can say he is displeased at something.
Exercise 7. Read the sentences carefully and fill in the missing word in each sentence. The number of lines means the number of letters, and one letter is already given. How can he be so gullible? He believes in everything people tell him. Please don't write more than 5 sentences in the second paragraph. I'm sorry, but I can't go shopping with you today because I've got company. My cousin John and his wife have come to see me. I'd like to invite you to my birthday party on Saturday night. Don't walk so fast, Bill. I can hardly keep up with you. I think I'll need your help. I won't be able to cope with all the work myself. Tom broke off his engagement just 2 weeks before the wedding. His ancestors came to the US from Ireland in the 19th century. We have run out of coffee, Peter. Could you go to the shop and get some? He hasn't written anything since last Monday, so now he'll have to work hard to make up for the lost time.
Exercise 8. Complete each sentence with the right preposition. We are convinced of Simon's honesty. I'll call on you on my way home from work. The winter has been long and severe this year. I really long for spring. Peter is very particular about the suits and ties he wears. His uncle died of a heart attack. She smiled at him and said yes. Cows feed on grass. Don't worry about your dog now. I'll look after him when you're in hospital. What did he mean by saying that? Kate often complains of a splitting headache. I was amazed at the number of letters I received. Simon can hardly live on his low wages. We're concerned about Kate's stomach operation. Are oranges rich in vitamin C? Jane really takes after her mother. She has the same eyes, nose, and smile. We were disgusted at the way they treated their teachers. I didn't know Jack applied for this job. He's entitled to receive unemployment benefit. He drank a cup of hot tea, but he's still shivering with cold. We should do something to prevent him from publishing that article.
Exercise 9. Listen to the cassette and finish each sentence orally, giving the correct number. Then write in the missing numbers. 20 divided by 2 is... 20 divided by 2 is 10. 3 multiplied by 4 is... 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. 40 minus 5 is... 40 minus 5 is 35. 30 and 11 is... 30 and 11 is 41. 24 divided by 3 is... 24 divided by 3 is 8. 9 multiplied by 8 is... 9 multiplied by 8 is 72. 80 minus 7 is... 80 minus 7 is 73. 6 multiplied by 5 is... 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. 48 divided by 8 is... 48 divided by 8 is 6. 12 and 18 is... 12 and 18 is 30.
Exercise 10. Read the sentences carefully and complete each of them with during, for, or while. We were in the mountains during the summer. She was in hospital during her illness. She was in hospital for 10 days. It began to rain while they were playing football. You talked on the phone for an hour. We met some interesting people while we were travelling in France. We met some interesting people during our trip. Our teacher mentioned that during the last lesson. He entered my room while I was writing a letter. She didn't eat anything during the flight. They lived in Washington during the war. They lived in Washington for 5 years. They lived in Washington while their son was in the army. Peter went out during the film. Peter went out while we were watching the film.
Exercise 11. Listen to the cassette and finish each sentence orally, then write in the missing words. At the end of a question you put a... At the end of a question you put a question mark. At the end of an exclamation you put an... At the end of an exclamation you put an exclamation mark. A longer text can be divided into... A longer text can be divided into paragraphs. A paragraph usually consists of several... A paragraph usually consists of several sentences. A sentence can consist of one or more... A sentence can consist of one or more words. A word consists of one or more... A word consists of one or more syllables. A word which you don't know can be found in a... A word which you don't know can be found in a dictionary. An additional piece of information can be put in... An additional piece of information can be put in brackets.
Exercise 12. Match each word, expression, or sentence given in Part A with the correct word, number, or calculation given in Part B. The word exercise is in brackets. The word exercise is underlined. The word exercise is crossed out. The word exercise is handwritten. Odd number, even number, decimal number, fraction, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction.
Exercise 13. Listen to the cassette and complete the missing words in the 2 dialogues. Then answer the questions below. Wipe your feet on the doormat, Bill. I've just cleaned the floors.
OK, Mary. The floors are really shining.
And now please be quiet and walk on tiptoe, because the baby is asleep.
Well, I'd better call on Jack then.
Bill, you should ring Tom and apologise to him for what you told him yesterday.
You're right, Mary. I owe him an apology.
And please don't make any allusions to Tom's childhood.
I understand now that I've insulted him.
Why should Bill wipe his feet on the doormat?
He should wipe his feet on the doormat because Mary has just cleaned the floors.
Why should he be quiet and walk on tiptoe?
He should be quiet and walk on tiptoe because the baby is asleep.
Who should Bill ring?
He should ring Tom.
Why should Bill ring Tom?
He should ring Tom to apologise to him.
Why should Bill apologise to Tom?
Bill should apologise to Tom because he's insulted him.
What kind of allusions did Bill make?
Bill made some allusions to Tom's childhood. Exercise 14. Read the dialogue and choose the correct ending for each sentence. How are you feeling, Jane? You're still looking pale.
I feel rather weak, but there's some improvement today.
That food poisoning was really horrible.
I still don't know what made me so ill.
Neither do I. What sort of mixture is that, Jane?
Oh, that's my dinner for today.
Dinner? It doesn't look edible to me.
That's the type of food the doctor asked me to eat for a couple of days. Exercise 15. Match the beginnings and endings of sentences. You can put it wherever you want. Since you refuse to help me, I will ask Mary. He was late for school because he missed the bus. Before he wrote that paragraph, he checked some definitions in a dictionary. There is a department store where a park used to be. I will wait until he confirms his arrival. His life has changed since he moved to London. As I had to deal with advertisements, I didn't have time to discuss the editorial. After Mary had bought a silk blouse, she decided to get a new skirt too. Let me know as soon as you recollect his nickname.
Exercise 16. Choose the correct verb to complete each of the sentences. Jane's parents sent Jane to England so that she could learn English. I'm telling you about it so that you will know what to do when I'm gone. We will give him £20 so that he can buy a couple of shirts. Tom helped Kate to clean the kitchen so that they could go to the cinema in the afternoon. Lend me your map so that I will find my way in Manchester. I wrote down his address so that I wouldn't forget it. He brought me my glasses so that I could read the letter. I never lock the door so that she can enter my room whenever she wants.
Exercise 17. Listen to the dialogues and fill in the missing words.
Could you help me to bandage my finger, Mary?
Of course, let me see it. Bill, it's just a scratch.
Well, but it hurts. It's swollen, and I'd like to have it protected.
Chris, I hope you don't bear a grudge against Simon.
No, I don't. But you can't deny, Jane, that there's no justification for his behaviour last week.
Well, I know that Simon's behaviour may sometimes seem odd, but at least he's always candid.
Exercise 18. Choose the noun or the adjective to complete each of the sentences. Private, privacy. Celebrities have hardly any privacy. Don't listen, please. It's a private conversation. Timid, timidity. Anne's timidity sometimes makes her life difficult. Anne hates meeting new people because she's a very timid person. Decent, decency. Nobody questioned Jack's decency. I'm looking for a decent hotel in Liverpool. True, truth. Is it true that he's in a mental home? Don't hide the truth from me, please. Hypocritical, hypocrisy. Her hypocrisy doesn't make her a nice person. How can she be so hypocritical? Vacant, vacancy. I'm sorry, but there are no vacant rooms in our hotel today. We will let you know if we have a vacancy. Grateful gratitude. We are grateful to you for taking care of our children. I would like to express my gratitude for all your help. Strong strength. Everybody admired Jack's strength. He wasn't strong enough to push his car off the road. Deep depth. Do you know the depth of that lake? We need to dig a deep ditch. Wide width. The street is 25 feet wide. What's the width of that river? Urgent urgency. Is this matter urgent? This matter is of great urgency. We can't wait till tomorrow. Jealous jealousy. His jealousy may break their engagement. He's often jealous of his colleagues' successes. Severe severity. We had a severe winter last year. I couldn't bear the severity of the climate in Norway. Generous generosity. I wouldn't count on their generosity. People are always generous when we raise money for children in need. Dense density. Drive carefully, Bill. There's a dense fog tonight. What's the population density in your country?
Exercise 19. The words given in italic in the dialogue below are written in the wrong sentences. Read the dialogue carefully and put the words in italic in the correct sentences. What happened to your left leg, Bill? You're limping.
Oh, I've sprained my ankle.
Again? You're really prone to sprains. You should be more cautious.
Listen to the dialogue and decide if the sentences below are true or false. How's Aunt Jane? Have you got any news?
Yes, I have. She regained consciousness this morning, and everything is fine with her memory. She can even easily recollect the accident.
What a relief. What did the doctors say about her recovery?
They reassured me that she wouldn't be paralysed as they first thought she might be.
Oh, that's great news. What about the other victims of the accident?
3 people are still in hospital.
So 4 persons were badly injured because the driver of the car happened to be drunk?
Yes, but it could have been worse. The accident happened near a school.
It's good that nobody was killed. Aunt Jane was badly injured in a car accident. True. She is staying in hospital. True. She hasn't regained consciousness yet. False. She has some problems with her memory. False. She can't remember the accident. False. Doctors say that she won't be paralysed. True. There were 3 victims of the accident. False. The accident was caused by a drunken car driver. True. The accident took place near a school. True. 1 person was killed in the accident. False.
Exercise 21. Read the dialogue and choose the correct word from the list below to complete the sentences. Then answer the questions. How was John's party, Tom?
Don't even mention it. I'm not going to any more parties with the same company again.
Why? Who was there?
Simon and his new fiancée, Mary and Bill and Anne. First, Bill dwelled on some politicians.
Well, you know he's keen on politics.
Then Simon offended Mary.
It's true that Simon often insults people.
Mary burst out crying and Bill asked Simon to apologise to her. Then Anne boasted of her children's achievements.
What kind of achievements? They're the most spoiled children I know.
I suppose you're right, but you know every mother is proud of her children. And finally John talked for an hour about his medical practice.
Well, now I understand why you didn't have a good time at the party. Did Tom enjoy the party?
No, he didn't.
Who dwelled on politicians at the party?
Bill dwelled on politicians.
Why did Mary burst out crying?
She burst out crying because Simon offended her.
What did Anne boast of?
She boasted of her children's achievements.
What did Kate and Tom think of Anne's children?
They think Anne's children are spoiled.
What did John talk about for an hour?
He talked about his medical practice. Exercise 22. Complete each of the sentences with the correct conjunction given below. Suppose he refuses to lend us the money. What shall we do? I will lend you the money provided you return it in a week. I can make dinner tonight unless you want to go out to a restaurant. Here's my new phone number in case he asks about it. She treated them as if they were her children. As far as I know, the soil here is fertile. She was still as pretty as she used to be. Even if he tries again, I'm sure he will fail. I told you more than I was going to. Although it was very warm outside, Bill put on a coat.
Exercise 23. Listen to the cassette and pay attention to the prepositions and phrasal verbs used in the sentences. Write down each sentence and mark the preposition and the phrasal verb used in each pair of the sentences. The grocer's is just round the corner. Round. Preposition. He looked round and started to run away. Looked round. Phrasal verb. Put on your New Jersey. Put on. Phrasal verb. I saw your New Jersey on the kitchen chair. On. Preposition. The houses look very small down in the valley. Down. Preposition. Don't play with that knife. Put it down. Put down. Phrasal verb. I can't see any shops across the street. Across. Preposition. That river is too dangerous to swim across. Swim across. Phrasal verb. I tried to get closer to the stage, but people didn't let me through. Let through. Phrasal verb. Did you drive through the centre yesterday? Through. Preposition.
Exercise 24. Choose the correct explanation of the word or the expression. A cartoon is something you can watch on TV. A paragraph can be part of a text. A wreckage is the broken parts of a destroyed ship or plane. At a stretch means without stopping. Rude means not polite. To derive from means to come from. A miser is a person who is stingy. An idler is a person who wastes time doing nothing.
Exercise 25. Change the verb have or the expression with the verb have in each sentence into another verb or expression of a similar meaning. He always has a cigarette after dinner. He always smokes a cigarette after dinner. They often have a walk on Sunday afternoon. They often go for a walk on Sunday afternoon. I didn't have a good time at Jack's party. I didn't enjoy myself at Jack's party. What time did you have lunch? What time did you eat your lunch? What time did you eat lunch? Their child often has a fever. Their child is often feverish. They didn't have the invitation in time. They didn't get the invitation in time.
Exercise 26. Choose the correct conjunction to complete each of the sentences. Hardly had I closed my eyes when the telephone rang. We can walk as far as the lake. I must have the article translated by Saturday. It was colder towards the evening. We can't wait for his decision till Friday. He has to decide today. No sooner had she agreed to marry him than she began to regret her decision. They have saved some money against their old age. Please be ready by 8 o'clock. Put the plates into the cupboard, please. You can find a clean plate in the cupboard.
Exercise 27. Make up sentences using the words below. These sentences could be orders or questions asked by a school teacher. Nouns, in, sentences, each, the, of, underline, the. Underline the nouns in each of the sentences. In, put, the. Brackets, words, in, order, the, right. Put the words in brackets in the right order. Many, are, in, text, this, there, how, paragraphs. How many paragraphs are there in this text? Syllables, how, consist, does, word, the, of, many, subtraction. How many syllables does the word subtraction consist of? Much, is, by, 20, multiplied, how, 3. How much is 20 multiplied by 3? Or how much is 3 multiplied by 20?
Exercise 28. Choose the correct word to complete each of the sentences. It's a golden opportunity to earn money. Did they invite many relatives to their golden wedding? Gold watches are very expensive. I'm not rich enough to buy myself a watch like that. Which brass instrument can you play? I'm not going to listen to his brazen lies anymore. He had a wooden face when he heard the news. That silk blouse looks great with my new skirt. She has the most beautiful silken hair I've ever seen.
Exercise 29. Listen to the cassette and fill in the missing words. People all over the world are interested in the lives of celebrities, particularly of film stars and singers. They read gossip columns in newspapers and magazines about their favourite actors, actresses and singers. Sometimes they envy their success, fame and riches. Teenagers are eager to imitate their favourite singer or actor by wearing similar types of clothes or by having a similar hairstyle. They would like to be just like their admired and loved idol. They usually think that celebrities have an easy life because they are talented, beautiful, famous, rich and admired by millions of people. Is it really such an easy life that should be envied? Celebrities are often young people who are not able to cope with their fame and with the fact that they earn millions of dollars. But of course it is not only young people who become famous and do not know how to manage their personal and business problems in such a new situation. Being famous involves being followed by journalists and fans everywhere, which first may be nice, but quite soon becomes very hard to put up with. There are lots of journalists and fans who ignore the right of a celebrity to a private life. A lack of privacy is the problem celebrities mainly complain of. More and more often celebrities choose to live in a place which is far away from cities and where they can enjoy everyday life in their family circle. They don't want to live in a city like Los Angeles, New York or London, where each day they have to think of ways of how to deceive journalists and run away from their cameras. They may become really desperate trying to protect their privacy.
Exercise 30. Read the dialogue and complete the endings of the words.
I got a letter from Aunt Kate, but I can't read it. Her handwriting has become really illegible.
Let me see it. I'll try to read it. Dear Jane and Peter, thank you very much for your hospitality. It was great to see both of you again and your lovely twins. Last week was quite eventful here. My niece Anne broke off her engagement with John. At last. How could she be so gullible and trust that man? I knew he would deceive her sooner or later, but I didn't want to be meddlesome and didn't say anything to Kate. Well, Kate's decision about her engagement was really premature. You won't believe it, but my brother Jack finally proposed to Betty Smith. Jack, who is the most timid person I know, so I'll have a new sister-in-law. I can't go on reading, Jane, because the next part of the letter is illegible to me.
Well, I can see that Aunt Kate, as usual, is writing about engagements and marriages. Exercise 31. Listen to the dialogue and answer the questions orally, then write in the answers.
Kate, would you like to go out for dinner with me tonight?
Thanks, Tom, but I'm not in the mood for going out.
Why not? What's happened?
Do you remember my telling you about my acquaintance John and how he deceived me?
Yes, I remember the story.
Well, he had the nerve to come to me this afternoon as if nothing had happened and asked me to lend him £500.
Can't believe it. What did you do?
I wanted to tell him what I thought of him, but I lost my nerve and told him to go away.
You did the right thing, Kate. Now, I think a nice dinner at your favourite French restaurant will do you good.
You're right, Tom. I'll be ready in 10 minutes.
Where did Tom ask Kate to go tonight?
Tom asked Kate to go out for dinner.
Did Kate like that idea?
No, she didn't.
Who is John?
John is Kate's acquaintance.
Does Tom remember the story of John's deception?
Yes, he does.
What did John have the nerve to do this afternoon?
He had the nerve to come to Kate and asked her to lend him £500.
Did Kate lend him the money?
No, she didn't.
What did Kate tell John to do?
She told him to go away.
What kind of restaurant does Tom suggest going to?
He suggests going to Kate's favourite French restaurant.
Why should Kate go out for a nice dinner?
She should go out for a nice dinner because it will make her feel better.
Does Kate agree to go out?
Yes, she does.
Exercise 32. Read the text and choose the correct word from the list below to complete the missing parts. Over 60 million copies of daily newspapers and more than 55 million copies of Sunday newspapers are sold in the United States. There are about 1,700 daily and 6,800 weekly newspapers. All of them are privately owned. In the US, newspapers may support political parties, but only a few are owned and controlled by parties. None of them are controlled by the government. Since the US is a country of immigrants who come from all over the world, about 220 foreign language newspapers are printed in over 30 languages. The major daily and weekly newspapers are Time, Newsweek, US News and World Report, and the Washington Post. Together they reach a weekly readership of more than 10 million. In addition to giving the news, newspapers contain stock market reports, sports, fashions, recipes, job ads, medical information, film and theatre play reviews, etc. Besides the daily and weekly newspapers, thousands of different magazines are published each month. Some of them are addressed to the general public, for instance Life magazine, while others are for special groups. Life belongs to the most popular American magazines. It is famous not only for interesting articles, but also for fine photographs. It has a circulation of about 10 million. There are lots of magazines published for special professional or hobby groups, for instance for teachers, doctors, farmers, or for people who are interested in music, fishing, etc.
Exercise 33. Listen to the text and decide which sentence in each pair is true and which one is false. Aspen. This name means mountains, snow in winter, skis, good music, good food, beautiful scenery, and lots of days of sunshine during the year. It is a wonderful place to live or to spend a holiday any time of the year. Aspen is the most famous of American ski resorts. If your dream is meeting a celebrity out in the street or at a restaurant, your chances are the biggest in Los Angeles and Aspen. Aspen is a favourite place for celebrities to go skiing during the winter season. Many of them have their own houses in Aspen and spend there more time than just a week or two in winter. Even though Aspen is an expensive place to live or to spend a vacation, it is not only rich Americans who visit it. Aspen is very popular with middle-class families who love to spend a week or two there in December or February. It is quite popular for two American families that are friends and have children to rent a house in Aspen and to enjoy their vacation together. The families can share the costs then, and it is much nicer and cheaper than staying at a hotel.
There are many sunny days in Aspen during the year. True. There are few sunny days in Aspen during the year. False. Aspen is in the mountains. True. Aspen is close to Los Angeles. False. Your chances of meeting a celebrity in the US are the biggest in Chicago and Aspen. False. Your chances of meeting a celebrity in the US are the biggest in Los Angeles and Aspen. True. Aspen is an expensive place to live. True. Aspen is not too expensive to live. False. Only rich Americans go to Aspen for a winter vacation. False. Aspen is popular not only with rich Americans. True. It is popular for American middle-class families to rent a house in Aspen for a winter vacation. True. Most American middle-class families stay at a hotel during their winter vacation in Aspen. False. Staying at a hotel is cheaper for a family with children than renting a house together with another family. False. Staying at a hotel is more expensive for a family with children than renting a house together with another family. True.
Exercise 34. Put the verb in brackets in the right tense or form to complete each of the sentences. The police are looking for those two thieves now. Simon was not allowed to watch TV last night. The kitchen floor needs cleaning. I'm not used to drinking so much coffee every day. Bill has his hair cut once a month. I don't remember meeting Mr. Smith in New York. I have seen him for the first time in my life. Only yesterday did I understand what he meant. Who visited your aunt yesterday? Her latest novel is worth reading. I'll have my daughter do the shopping today. Our neighbour's house was set fire to last night. They treated me as if I were their daughter. The news will be announced to everybody tomorrow. Don't put off talking to your parents. He allowed the book to be published. My elder sister was always scolding me when I did something wrong. He has not been able to repair his car yet. I was so sleepy last night that I went to bed at 8 p.m. We will go fishing unless the weather changes. You can use my car provided you don't drive fast.
Exercise 35. Listen to the cassette and write down each word you can hear. Then write each word in the crossword puzzle. Across, row, paint, natural, dub, family allowance, dote, deaf, pop, either, equip, fan, scream, resist, languor, resemble, lungs, miser, down, retirement, wax, amplify, quality, competition, editor, fear, even, soul. Homework. Listen to the dialogue and answer the questions.
Bill, are you going to watch cartoons all evening?
Yes, I am, if you don't mind. I'm too tired to do anything else.
What happened to your vigour, Bill?
I don't know, Mary. I'm exhausted, and I long for warmer spring weather.
Well, I have an idea. You know that I'm desperate to travel somewhere, so why don't we go to a nice resort this weekend? It would be much nicer and warmer in a place like Brighton, for instance. I'm sure you'll feel much better there instantly.
Well, that's a good idea. I think a change of climate could do us a lot of good. Friday is a bank holiday, so we could set out on Thursday after work.
Great.